Before I start this video, guys, I just wanted to let you guys know that I made three major, well, more like two major wrong steps on this transmission rebuild process. If you guys have never done a transmission rebuild before, I highly recommend taking your transmission to a transmission specialist and let them do it, because they know what they're doing. They're gonna do a full measurement of your LSD, gears, all that stuff. So I highly recommend taking it to them and get it done. But me, I wanted to challenge myself doing something I have never done it before. So that's the reason why I tried to do it for myself, and I thought I did it, but no, I did take an L. I did fail for the first time, I'll say. And yeah, it kind of sucks, but I did learn a lot from this experience, and I do not feel comfortable telling you guys, hey, follow my video, follow this video steps to do a transmission video. I'm not comfortable telling you guys that, but I am comfortable telling you guys that, hey, follow my video steps and learn from my mistake what I did. So that's what I'm all gonna tell you guys. So if you guys wanna, stick around and watch this video, great. Learn from my mistake and don't do what I did on this video. Don't do it. Don't do it, Dennis. Fuck, man. Here are the three, it's more really like two major steps I have did wrong. I thought I have finished with my transmission rebuild process. And then I was about to close the transmission case, and transmission case wouldn't close. Now, when you close the transmission on the K series, it doesn't close all the way. It has that hair gap in it. You have to flip the transmission upside down. You have to, spread the snap ring and, hit it with a 2x4, yada, 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 so it will close all the way, right? But I was nowhere near to that point. It was still hitting the top of the bearing on the transmission case. It won't slide in and all that. And I thought it was hitting the 3/4 on the inside. And I was fighting it for literally 3 months, and I have given up. I took it to three of my different buddies, and then they inspected and they're like, dude, I can't figure out. They're all like that too. And they have more mechanic knowledge, experience than I do. And they couldn't even figure it out. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take it to a transmission specialist. Shout out to TransLab Spiker. Literally, he's the man. He's literally of the transmission rebuild god, I should say. I mean, this guy knows what he's doing. I mean, he will rebuild any transmission and he will build it for you too. And you guys are probably, if you guys are Honda head, you guys are probably familiar with X-Gear. He is going to be apparently taking over the company X-Gear here soon. So he does have all the parts for transmission rebuild stuff too. So if you go to him, hey, I do want to get a transmission rebuild done on yada yada, car, first thing he will ask is, okay, what do you want? Do you want this part or that part? He will offer it. Do you want LSD? He does offer LSD too from M Factory and all that too. But I did have my LSD, which was from Spoon. But when I took the transmission to him, he did find 3 problems on the rebuild process. I did more like 2. The first thing that he found out was the first gear. This is completely my fault. First gear was the synchro was completely crushed. So let's say even if the transmission case closed and if I threw this transmission back into my car, it would not have gone into first gear. I'm glad he found that out. That's definitely my fault. I did that. Now the second problem that he found was third and fourth inner and outer slider. So if you guys don't know what that is if you are shifting from third to fourth gear, there's a slider that slides, shifts to the next gear. That sliders, both inner and outer sliders were flipped upside down. How you can tell if that's upside down is that once you finished installing countershaft side or input shaft side. I think it was the input shaft side. That's where the third and fourth inner and outer slider gear is. Once you install that, the outer ring, the outer third and fourth slider ring will literally slide down. It will literally come out. And that's when you know you have installed it upside down. Third wrong thing that I have did, well, it wasn't really my fault. When we first opened the transmission case, counter shaft side 6th gear, all the outer edges gearing were all torn apart. Like it was literally shredded on the edges. And me and my buddy were looking at it like, dude, that is weird. Like it will take a lot of force to like literally tear that 6th gear out. So, even if you have like a 2000 horsepower Civic, I mean, it's really hard to do it, right? So it was really weird seeing that, and we were like just kind of like shocked. Later on, I obviously did purchase the correct gear, counter shaft side gear, 6th gear. I did purchase it, and I did have the right part. Now, what Spiker from TransLab, he found out was input side 6th gear was completely off measurement and had extra teeth in it. Now, it's supposed to have 41 teeth in it, but it had 42 teeth in it, and it was hair off of measurement. And that's probably the reason why by that the 6th gear, countershaft side 6th gear was all torn apart. So I'm like, that is so weird. What we think is that previous owner did a transmission rebuild on this car before. The 6th gear, input side 6th gear, they put from a different car, because when he looked it up, the measurement, it's not from the TSX, it's not from Civic Si. There's only like 3 different measurements, K series transmission apparently, according to him, because he knows his stuff. He has all the measurement charts and everything, and he looked at the measurements and charts. None of them came back to that measurement, so it is from a completely different car. So that makes sense why the 6th gear, the counter shaft side 6th gear, was all torn apart. It makes sense, and that's the reason why the transmission case didn't close, because the hair off measurement was too big for that transmission case to exactly, you know, sit in it and close it. So that's the reason why it didn't close. And honestly, I'm glad it didn't close, because even if it closed, it wouldn't gone into 1st gear. 3rd and 4th gear would have had problems because it was flipped upside down. So I'm glad he found those problems out. Those were the 3 issues that I had. Honestly guys, this was my first time rebuilding a transmission, any transmission. So I have learned a lot from this transmission rebuild process. Yes. My recommendation will be take it to the professionals. Enough of me talking, guys. Here is the transmission rebuild that I did. But yeah, the clutch I'm going to be going with will be a stage 1 Xcity clutch. It's inside of my house. Don't really want to take it out, but the main focus right now is I did get a carbon synchro tech. This is what it looks like. I'm going to kind of show you guys briefly on this one. I'm going to show you guys more while I'm, you know, rebuilding the transmission, where these goes and all that stuff. Is this fucking... oh my god, no way. This is already fucking getting rusty. That's not fucking good. And then over here, guys, is the Spoon LSD clutch type. Comes with some bearings, the factory bearings from Honda LSD. This is the LSD right here. This is a clutch type LSD. So this is gonna grip pretty hard. I'm not quite sure what this little thing yet, but I'm probably gonna figure out down the road. But anyways, guys, the main focus right now is taking out the gear selector, the 3 D10 spring bolts, all that stuff, and taking out the sensor right here. And I'm just gonna kind of start working my way down so I can get ready to rebuild this thing. So let's do that. Before you remove the gear selector, which is holding on to with 4 10mm bolts, before you remove that, I'm gonna be removing this bolt right here. Well, fuck, man, I hit my eye and it's bleeding right there. That shit fucking hurt. Well, I'm gonna take this bolt out. Now it's fucking loose. That's the bolt right there. I'm gonna loosen up these 4 10mm bolts. Long bolt, short bolt, short bolt. That just came out. And then this is held together with a Honda bond. Careful, that should have probably loosened it. On the other side too, just move it gently. Oh, watch out with the sensor right there. So you don't want to destroy this sensor right here. So just be careful with that. And that should come out. Boom. I'm gonna take the sensor off using a 27mm. Should have came out. Easy peasy, wasn't that tight on. It's that right there. Loosen up the 3 D10 spring bolts. That one's loose. 3. This one in the middle was really loose. Once I take this out, there's a washer too, so watch out. And there's a spring and a bowl in the bottom. So there's that spring right there. And to take all these 3 bolts out, I'm gonna use a magnetic tool that goes in there. That's 1, 2, and then 3. That's it. And make sure you don't lose those. So if you lose those, it's gonna suck. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna take this sensor out. I'm just gonna call it a night just to kind of take it easy. It's getting late anyways, and then that's pretty much it. And we can pretty much crack open the case and then start rebuilding the transmission. Alright, so I took the sensor out with a 10mm bolt that's holding on this bolt right here. The sensor goes right there. The 14mm bolt that I took out is right there. That long one. Take that out. And I should be pretty much able to take everything out. 12mm bolt and then the 14mm socket that's going down here, the 6-sided one. So loosen that up. And there's a pin that's inside of it. And you have to spread it and you can pop it open. After you take these 12mm bolts out, it is pretty hard to separate the transmission case with a pry bar, so just keep that in mind. So this bolt that I took out right in here, there's a little pin. You're gonna spread it open in between here with the needle nose ply just like that. And while you're spreading it open, you're gonna stick your pry bar right over here, pry it open, and this whole casing should pop open. Use a flathead screwdriver to kind of pry it open little by little. To separate the transmission case, I did use a flathead screwdriver. Alright, got it popped open. Take the 10mm bolt off for the reverse countershaft. So when you take the guts out, it's in there pretty good. So you do have to wiggle it pretty hard, and then eventually it will come out. Yeah, that was it. So I'm gonna do as much as voiceover in this video because the music in the background, I do not want to get copyrighted. But right here, I'm taking out these 14mm bolts from the stock differential from the final drive ring gear, transferring it to the spoon LSD. So that's what I'm doing right now. As you guys can see here, I did install my brand new bearings on each side on my spoon LSD. You do need a press machine to press these bearings in. If you do not have a press machine at home, take it to your local mechanic shop that has one. Or if your buddy that has one, you know, you guys could just do it at your, you know, buddy's place and install it. But if you're going to install it yourself, make sure to keep in mind that installing these bearings in the right direction, because if you install these bearings upside down, you guys are going to have a hard time taking these out. 1, 2, you guys are going to have high chance of just missing the brand new bearings out. So just keep that in mind. So anyways, I am going to be reusing the 4.7 final gear ring. The reason why I'm sticking with the stock 4.7 final gear ring is that, let's say if I go, M Factory, they do offer 5.08, and Spoon offer 5.1, 5.3. So as Jay's Racing, they do offer 5.3. There's a lot of options out there, but the reason why I'm sticking with 4.7, 1, I don't really need anything too crazy at the moment. 2, let's say if you're cruising on the highway at 60 miles per hour, in 6th gear with a 5.1 final drive, your RPM is going to be at like 4,000 RPM. And with 5.3 final drive is going to be even worse. It's going to be at like 4,500 RPM. So just keep in mind that all these aftermarket final gear sets are for race use only. So I'm tightening these 14mm bolts down. Make sure you guys do crisscross pattern on these. And torque spec for these bolts will be 181 foot-pounds. So make sure to torque it down. We are struggling trying to take this 5th and 6th inner hub out. I mean, as you guys can see it there, we are trying to take it out with a flathead screwdriver. Usually, guys, it is not this hard to take any gears out on the main shaft. I mean, it's supposed to slide in and out. It's supposed to be that easy. But sometimes you do have to face the battle. Up on inspection, guys, we did find that 5th and 6th inner hubs were worn down pretty bad. But even worse was, man, the 3rd and 4th inner hub teeth were completely gone. So I did have to go ahead and order both of those parts. And as you guys can see it there, we are inspecting the main shaft, make sure everything is good, it's reusable. Luckily, guys, it was completely fine. There's no grooves or anything. So we did go ahead and reuse this main shaft. And we took every gears out and then we inspected it, and everything was fine, and we are putting everything back together. Brand new 3rd and 4th inner hub. Man, we had it. Rewatching this clip, guys, we had it right on the first try. And then second try, because first try when we did it, oh, it's not sliding, it's probably upside down, and we installed it upside down on the second try. As you guys can see here, watching this sucks right now, but it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, the transmission specialist figured it out for me. So, and then we installed the 5th and 6th, 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th, carbon synchro by Synchrotech with a brand new bearing on the main shaft here. And for the counter shaft, that bolt on the top, guys, it is righty loosey, so keep that in mind. Alright, so I took out the magnet and I am cleaning that inside as well. I'm going to clean this up real quick and put this back in. So I didn't know that this magnet, it's detachable, so you can detach it, clean inside, outside, in and out thoroughly and all this. So I'm going to clean that up and put back in. Alright, guys, so now we are working on a counter shaft, guys, and then I did take it to a shop where they have a press machine, got every single gear pressed out, and then now we are putting everything back in order. That's the first gear that I just installed, and I'm about to install the first gear synchro. And then don't forget the ring, guys. I forgot the ring right here, but in a minute I'm gonna find out that, oh, I forgot the ring, and I'm gonna take everything out and put the ring in. But that right there is that 1st and 2nd inner hub, and then I'm about to install that 1st and 2nd slider. That's what that is. And then make sure you guys lube it up really well. So, but I think this is where I realized that, oh, I forgot the ring, and then I'm gonna take everything out. And yep, see right there, don't forget this ring, because if you guys forget to install these rings, you guys cannot shift the vehicle. So just keep that in mind. And this right here, guys, the first and second outer hub, it goes in one way, so keep that in mind. You guys can look at the teeth and it will pretty much show you. And somehow, guys, right here, I did crush the first gear synchro, so I'm not quite sure how I did that, but yeah, I did. Install the bearing in. Make sure you guys lube these up really well, just be liberal with it. And that's the needle bearing that I just installed. And this is the second gear that's going in. And then I'm checking the first and second outer slider, make sure it slides really well. And this is the third gear that's going in right now. As I have mentioned before, I do not have a press machine at home, so I kind of had to be creative to install this third gear in. So I used that extended socket with this adapter that came off of a ball joint removal kit. So that's what I'm using. It slides right over the counter shaft perfectly fine, and then, you know, to that gear. So I'm pressing that gear in right now, but I have a feeling that this is where I might have crushed that first gear synchro. So if you guys have rebuilt these transmission before, and if you guys think this is where I have messed it up, leave it in the comments down below. And as you guys can see it here, this looks so silly, but I'm using a wheel adapter and then the tool from a ball joint removal kit, you know, installing that fourth gear in. I'm just kind of, I guess, being creative, you know, trying to figure out, okay, how I can install this, you know, without a press machine. So that's what I'm exactly doing here. And I am installing a fifth gear here using a wheel adapter with a ball joint removal tool kit, I guess, you know, that comes with a kit, that little extension thing as you guys saw there. So yeah, I just want to know how you can install these without using a press machine. And installing that brand new 6 gear in using an extended socket, it is pretty smooth forward. And as you guys remember, the reason why I got a new 6 gear is because when we opened the transmission case, it was all torn apart on the edges. And last but not least, install the bearing in. Make sure you guys put the bearing in the right direction, not upside down, because if you guys install it upside down and trying to take it out, it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna all, you know, come apart, and it is gonna be lifty tighty on that screw. I got my main shaft and counter shaft all lined up, as you guys can see it there, and installing these forks in. The easiest way to install these forks, guys, are literally the first and second forks in the bottom, third and fourth in the middle, and fifth and sixth on the top. And then, you know, you could just, you know, grab the whole gut and slide it in. You guys might run into a problem where the final gear ring gets stuck on that whole gut. The best way to do this is just wiggle it around, move the gears around, and then eventually it will slide in. So, and just be patient with it, it will eventually go in. So yeah, and then install the reverse gear in, and then tighten it down with the two 10mm bolts. And I also replaced the snap ring as well using a needle nose pliers. It was really straightforward. Always put your baffle plate back in, guys. This is really important. And as you guys can see it there, I did use RTVs on those edges to secure the baffle plate in place. Transmission is in, and almost everything is back together. So yeah, but I'm gonna have to stop it right here for today, guys, because tomorrow I'm actually gonna be leaving to Japan. So yeah, the main reason why I'm leaving to Japan is, well, in March I'm gonna be getting married in Japan. So me and my fiance are gonna go check out the venue, because obviously getting married in Japan is a lot cheaper. So that's the reason why. So yeah, we're gonna go check out the venue. That's the main reason why I'm going back. But also I'm gonna be going to a Stance Nation event, which I did hear is like one of the biggest car show event in Japan at Fuji Speedway. So yeah, I heard that it's gonna be like 800 cars that's showing up. It's gonna be a lot. And also the Moon Eye event in Yokohama that's happening. Now, there's also going to be a Nissan event that's going to be covering with the Moon Eyes event, but I already bought the Moon Eyes tickets, so I'm going to the Moon Eyes event. But yeah, the Nissan, there's like a Nissan event that's happening, which is like 2 days in a row, which I'm going to miss out, but it is what it is, so that's that. But I hope you guys enjoy today's video. I hope this was also helpful, what I have did wrong to the transmission rebuild process, but also I hope you guys can take notes what to do and what not to do as well. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please give me a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and also go follow me on Instagram at jdm.dennis. So make sure to do that. Other than that, guys, peace out and stay thirsty, my friends.